Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap, we've got what should be a fairly intriguing matchup between the San Francisco 49ers and the Mexico City Diablos. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the oldest capital city in the Americas, founded in 1325, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Mexico City. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the San Francisco 49ers and the Mexico City Diablos. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, you look at this Mexico City team as they enter play here. They've got to be pleased with the start to this season. Obviously, a perfect 3-0.
3 good quality wins, too. It's got people in the locker room excited. They're thinking that this could be their year.
On the other side of the field for the visiting 49ers, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
And he is hot, hot, hot. Yeah, okay, so there's a blemish in there, right? He did throw 1 interception in the last game.
But 5 touchdown passes.
Okay, that's the offset you want.
I say bench him. 5 touchdowns, 1 interception.
You are tough, coach. I thought the ratio was if you got to 3-1, your quarterback was operating at peak efficiency. 5-1.
And a win.
And a win? Yeah, just let him keep throwing it.
Here we go. 180!
Now the Georgia Southern man, it's Matt Breida. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. And it was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Over the middle to Garcon. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A gain of 6 there on first.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. That's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Garoppolo to his tight end, Kittle, for a Niner first down. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And now this offensive unit, we get a look at their starters. They put up good numbers last week, looking to carry that forward.
Yeah, Brandon, they saw the numbers from last week. They expect to at least replicate them. They think that they can put up bigger numbers this week. They are a confident bunch.
Now Garoppolo throwing on 2nd. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off here the 32. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. A first carry now for Adrian Peterson. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. On the stop, Stephon Anthony with a tackle.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
Now let's go!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back, as he's got this down inside the 40 to the 39. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early, because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
Back to the ground. This time it's Peterson. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Back to throw now on 1st down. And Davis with it left side. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or two shy of the 10. That one goes for 24 yards. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is, finish this drive off, because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
He'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. No gain there on the completion. It'll be 2nd down. And if you're going to pass down here, you better get that in the end zone.
I agree with you totally. And as we both know, the field's already condensed. There's just not a lot of space. So you've got to create some by getting some people downfield into the end zone. If you want to throw it short, you've got to have some movement, some room in order to do that. That one didn't work.
He'll get it up the middle. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that is going to set up 3rd and goal. look to throw here. And it's caught. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys have taken a first quarter lead. And the QB rating right now sky high. 4 for 4 on that opening drive. And it ends with a touchdown pass.
Yeah, I don't know quite how to figure it out. I think I need my friends from MIT to come in and help me. I think 158.3 is the number one.
Yep, that's the
right.
high
That's the highest you can get. That's where he is. He'd like to continue on that pace.
Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. Here's James. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at their own 26. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The front office all smiles when the ink went dry on this new contract.
Not only them, how about the coaching staff? Because oftentimes the front office and the coaching staff may have different opinions about the value of a player. I think everyone was in sync on this one. He's a guy that they needed to keep.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down.
20.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 12 yards. And that'll bring up a 3rd down.
It seemed like the situation was 2nd and a mile to go for a 1st down, which screams what? Throw the football. You got to pass in order to try and pick up that kind of yardage. But in this case, they ran a tendency breaker because the tendency is for defenses to be out there and be set up for a pass. So you break tendency and actually run the football. That changes everything because if you're able to
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 40. And the return will stop right around the 25.
And Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively, not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's going to be caught. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. 23 yards on the play. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
All right, here we go.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And his guys are going to add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Parkey adds the extra point, and it's now 14-0. They had the short field, and they made quick work of it. Just 2 plays to get into the end zone. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. Here's James. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. And And San Francisco gets set to go here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now it's Breda, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here on these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. This is Breda. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Excellent effort defensively by him. 2 tackles for a loss last week, now 1 here in the first quarter.
He's an absolute disruptor, isn't he? And I think most offenses would love to go against guys who just want to hold the point of attack and try and keep things clean for their linebackers. But when they make those moves and they can get upfield, past the offensive line into the backfield, that's hard to handle.
And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And down he'll go at the 25. Call it a gain of 5, and that'll make it 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. There to stop him on the defensive side, Fred Warner.
48 Mike. Back 99 Philly, here we go. Kill.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Eric Armstead in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week. We just saw their first one of this game.
So on 4th down, here's Matt Darr to kick it away. The speedster Dante Pettis back deep to return. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. A 46-yard boot, but just 36 following a pretty decent return of 10 yards. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. And that's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39. The veteran Connor Barwin in on the stop. A look there at the starters on the defensive side of the ball. They were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And what I saw on film was nearly an unstoppable pass rush. They had 5 sacks last week, plenty of hurries. So now do you just max protect on offense, keep everyone in and run, 1 or 2 receiver routes to make sure your quarterback stays up? We'll soon find out.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. He goes full extension, and he's got it. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
When you're a player of his stature, you don't just circle the games on your team's calendar. You
circle the Pro Bowl?
Without a doubt. That's a game that you just figure you're going to be in each and every year, and it's because of catches like that. That's why he goes.
Now a toss play. It's Breda. And he's going to get this one down to the 45. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 19 carries, 92 yards.
Are we playing old school football now? We got the top 10 rusher in the league. He's sitting at number 10, but he has a chance to move up with a big-time game. So expect that offensive line every time they go to the bench to tell the offensive coordinator, let's run the football.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. They'll toss it to Breda. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
Far left side caught by Goodwin. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. They create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job of limiting that and keeping him from a 1st down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And now back out comes the offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of 1st downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they'll go with a ground attack here. An ideal beginning of the drive there as they'll get 20 and a 1st down.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
All right, here we go.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
I like that one, partner. They go back-to-back with excellent gains. And really, it shouldn't be a surprise who they were throwing the ball to. He's their best guy.
Yeah, we knew that they would get him involved early. They're doubling down on getting him involved early.
Don't be surprised if they'll come right back to him again. they haven't shown the propensity to be able to stop him.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Watch tight end, watch tight end. Tight right, tight right. Hey, we got four down, four down. Hot!
And now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Four down, check. Now let's go.
He'll drop to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. Now Cody Parkey out to try the field goal. From the right hash, this from 48. And he'll try and throw here on the fake. It would have been a long field goal. The fake doesn't work out. Well, I see what they were trying to do there. You pop up your holder, roll him out. You got the option to run or pass. Just didn't work.
Not at all. And the communication was excellent defensively to make sure that receivers were covered as they escaped from the line of scrimmage, because that's supposed to be a surprise to everyone, and that's how they get free. People forget their assignments on defense. That didn't happen. And think about the guy rolling out with the football, looking for an open person, no one there.
Helpless feeling.
Helpless, because that gap between you and defenders now is going to close, and close quickly.
They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
Here we go.
Play action, Garoppolo. He's going to wind up and air it out. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Here's Peterson as they begin on the ground. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 20.
Really strong, effective run there out of a power set or a heavy set. 3 tight ends in the game, and that's tough for a defensive coordinator. They want to spot that lineup coming into the game early so they can get the proper defensive personnel on the field. That's why the coordinator is relying on some of the assistants to tell him what offensive personnel is hitting the field so he can adjust accordingly. They weren't able to him on that run.
And they'll get him down here at the 23. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. They'll look to throw. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Brandon Copeland coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 15.
Hurry up, here we go.
Looking to throw. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Here's Matt Darr now, standing just about on his own goal line. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This will be taken at the 10. A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And the 49ers will take over deep in their own territory. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is the coaches decide to do now. Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Tight right, tight right. 180, black 80.
They run with Breida. And he's going to be taken down here at about the 10. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. 5 yards on the pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Now problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know what the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
They'll drop to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. And they'll go on the ground. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a 10-yard pickup, and it moves the chains.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Here we go now.
Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. And after the broken tackle, couldn't get free for much space, taken down right at the 10. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. 4 yards on the play, and that leads to the 1st and goal.
not too many more ideal situations at 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom, land it.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
Garoppolo going to bring the Niners up here 1st and 10 at the 20.
20, 180.
They'll start on the ground with Breida. And an alley to run. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
We got by 20, black 80. Keep them deep, keep them deep.
Here's Breida. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
Black 80, 180.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. And his throw is incomplete. Kyle Juszczyk, the fullback, the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Brian Orakpo. In from his linebacker spot, he's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. On 3rd and long, it's Garoppolo. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
That was their 3rd sack of the ball game. 2nd in the league in sacks coming into this one. They're planning on making it a race to the top, aren't they?
Absolutely. They're looking up at that top spot, but they might be looking down at the 2nd spot pretty soon. That'll be a net of only 30 here. 40-yard punt, 10 on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, now look at 56.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And oh, look at that. A diving catch. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a 1st down.
I felt that one all the way up here. How about that big man laying out and making that catch?
Yeah, that wasn't a 180-pound wideout. That was a tight end. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he's going to get this inside the 30. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll run it now out of the gun. Down to about the 22 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Over the middle to Beckham. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Now they try the right side here. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
They're going to look to throw. He finds Beckham complete. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Here's 1st and goal, and gosh, points here, a chance maybe to put this thing away before halftime.
Now let's go. Green, 39.
It's a quarterback sneak, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. It's their quarterback as the first half is winding down. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
Heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that could finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Parkey with the extra point, and that makes the score 21-0. So that drive goes 8 plays, and it was capped off by the quarterback sneak for 6. Here's Parkey now set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's doing his thing. He's got some good yardage, but his team right now in the 2nd quarter, 0 points.
Just not a complete formula. Half of it's there, being able to run the ball and set the tone. Wonder if they may have to go to some play action, throw off the run game, and try and get the ball in the end zone.
I was just going to ask you that same thing. Maybe you use that run now to set up the pass, right?
I would think so because the run has been very effective for them.
19 seconds showing to play in the half as they come up here 1st and 10.
Here we go. 180.
A handoff to Breida to begin the drive. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman and our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. We'll begin up at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore. And it's the Seahawks who are out in front in the 2nd quarter. 2 touchdown passes there for Russell Wilson. From there, it's up to New Era Field in Orchard Park to check on the Bills. And they've got the lead in their ball game over the visiting Cincinnati Bengals. Trevor Siemian, 2 touchdown passes thus far. Lastly, we head to the Gulf Coast and check on the Bucs at home in Tampa. And that one all tied. Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. And here now the offense heading back out there. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. And to the left side here, Wilson. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
And this offense on 3rd down today, 2 for 5 to this point. This time they face a 3rd and 2.
All right, here we go.
They'll set up a throw. Left side, it's Beckham. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Let's go. 3-19.
First down, here's a run with Peterson. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. It was Marcel Harris out of Florida making the tackle that time.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There was absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
They run again with Peterson. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Only a yard on the pickup there, so it leaves them needing a conversion here on 3rd and a tough 9.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
An extra DB for the 49ers now on 3rd.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. And a tough ask here. They're going to go for it on 4th down and 9.
Here we go now.
They'll try and throw for it here. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Niners take over in terrific field position. Well, they've clearly made a conscious decision here to be more aggressive in the late stages of this game here in the second half.
And I get it. In this situation, you know, if you want to be aggressive out near midfield, you feel good about your defense maybe, or just, hey, I thought I had a proper play call. But how about the guys that just stopped them? How good do they feel right now? Hey, you want to go for it here? We shut you down? They're over on the bench right now feeling great. Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
That's good for a Niner first down. Garoppolo to Garcon.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
He winds up getting only a couple there, down to the 29.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety of being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU, most valuable unit, but you're right, it might go to them in this game.
I like that, MVU. Well done.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
There's Garoppolo to throw. Deep ball for Goodwin. And incomplete, almost intercepted. Had a great shot of picking that off in the end zone. And now 4th down. They have not gotten him going at all. Tried to spark something there with a longer throw, unable to complete it.
But you have to keep trying. He's one of their best playmakers. No matter what it says on the scoreboard, you're always trying to get him the football.
And Gold is able to put it through. And the drive will wind up yielding 3. So a good drive there to begin quarter number 3, but they're only able to shave 3 points off the lead.
Well, something's better than nothing, all right? They didn't play particularly well in the first half, but they definitely need him to step on the accelerator now and play a whole lot better.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
4 down, check, 4 down.
On 2nd down, Peterson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And Davis has it over the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Following the penalty, it's Peterson. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, obviously, they would have at least liked to have gotten back to the original line of scrimmage. Instead, now they're dealing with 2nd and long.
I thought they would have passed it after the penalty. Probably wish they would have now.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
They'll set up to throw. And Davis with it left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 75 yards receiving for him now. It's a 1st down. This quarterback now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Gets a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
A good solid game there on 1st down, but the defense has to be happy they didn't let it pop for anything bigger.
Hurry up, here we go. Boom,
Back to
landed.
throw.
Boom, landed.
Wide open receiver complete. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. on the ground they go with the running back. Down to about the 22 here. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. Well, lots of praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. Odell Beckham, his second touchdown on the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Parkey adds the extra point, and they open the lead up now to 25. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. Here's James. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. And San Francisco gets set to go here. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Here we go, here we go. 180!
They go play action here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Robert Kindici breaking through to get him for a loss of 7.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Finding a safety valve here. That's complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Here's Bradley Pinion now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That's fielded at the 8-yard line. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now this offense about ready to take over again. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey, here we go now. 3-19.
They'll look to throw here. Quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Now let's go. 3-19.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44.
Set. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Call it a gain of 3. And that'll make it a 2nd down. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Mexico City. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Tight end to the left, tight end left. Here we go now.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The offense on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5.
4 down, 4 down. All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90. No. Check. Patriot. 48's the mic.
They'll look to throw. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. So from inside Niner territory now, this is 1st and 10 at the 43. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
A 10th carry now for Peterson. Call it a gain of a couple, and that's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 5.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down.
4 down, 4 down. Mike 48, Mike
He'll look to throw. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
4 down, 4 down. Here we go now. Green, 39.
He'll drop to throw. And it is incomplete. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Throwing now is Garoppolo. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Garoppolo looks to throw, and he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. Here it's 3rd and 2. From the gun, it's Garoppolo. Oh, did he hang on to it? He did on the dive. Nice grab. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs.
When I played in the yard as a kid, I used to imitate the spectacular catches that I would see on TV. I don't think I ever imitated one quite that well.
Come on, give yourself some credit.
No, I know better. What we just saw there, that was pretty special.
Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up the 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss it? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
All right, Captain. It's batten down the hatches time defensively. Dodged 2 pass attempts to the end zone. Now what do you think they're going to try and dial up on 3rd and goal?
Well, knowing them and knowing what we just seen, I think they're throwing it again, don't you?
I think you have to. I think in this situation, you kind of run out of your running plays, fire another one into the end zone.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
That's overload.
Now Garoppolo, gotta have this one. And this is incomplete. They can't hook up here on the fourth down pass attempt, and as a result, possession switches hands. So they finally get their first trip to the red zone, and it ends with nothing.
And that's what I'm going to focus on with you because you teed it up really well. Finally get to the red zone. So there's got to be a little bit of frustration because they haven't moved the ball as well as they wanted to all game. Now they get there, but we got to go for it because we don't know if we're going to get back here again. We don't know how many opportunities because they've been sputtering a little bit.
Absolutely. At this stage in the second half, to get there and not get it for the first time, tough. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Looking to throw. And all this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a first down.
That was a terrific catch. I mean, to go up there and get it one-handed like that, but I almost want to go into that riff about back in my day, the gloves weren't quite like this.
When did gloves really become prevalent, just in general?
I think in the 80s. I think as we started to move through the 80s, especially as we got towards the latter part of that. But a lot of those were really like baseball batting gloves to begin with not much of a tacky area on the glove. In fact, there was none. I actually remember in cold weather games wearing the old scuba gloves, which you wear in the diving, but they would split too easily in the course of the game. Then the glove manufacturers got smart and started adding to it, and here we are today.
It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
The burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Watch tight. Tight end right. Now let's go.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And the Niners get there and bring him down.
Good job.
This offense so far on third down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 17.
Now let's go.
They'll drop to throw. And he's going to go down again. Eric Armstead in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking, but to me it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and that leads to a play action sack. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. And that one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football here. Nearly a 4th pick. And it's 3rd down.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown in. Frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Now yet another incompletion here as they fail to connect on 3rd. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket.
Single. Here we go.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. He's got a man complete. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on 3rd down plays, but when you go for it on 4th down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
Garoppolo now, first down throw. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
Black 80! Black 80!
Back to the air on 2nd. It's Garoppolo. Caught left side, Garcon. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well, and a first down. And they'll go on the ground. And he spins through. And he's going to get this one down inside the 15. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on first down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if you picked up the first down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the first down because in college football, the clock stops with every first down and actually aids the defense in that situation.
This will be caught just inside the 10. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. Time for a break. We'll come back and wrap up garbage time after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. They've got it 1st and goal in a game that appears to have already been decided.
Tight to the right.
He'll look to throw. The quick slant caught. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. Yeah, can't ask for a better first quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Parkey with the extra point, and that'll push the lead up to 29 now. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense making its way back out there. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is going to go the other way. The defense has it.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget. Absolutely. Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you could put yourself in jeopardy.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39. Hot.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
And now they're going to go for it. This isn't 4th and inches. This is 4th and 14.
Even, 4 down, even. Set, 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. A big-time sack there on 4th down. And the 49ers are going to get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear a people protest out of them. That's just who they are. While we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore, I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion, and both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Garoppolo to Goodwin there for a 49er first. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Garoppolo now. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he couldn't hang on. Would have been their 4th pick of the game. Instead, second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Here we go.
Garoppolo to try again on second down. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion.
4 down. 180.
And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, 49ers. Dante Pettis, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers make some inroads here on that deficit.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
They're all through now in that game in Tampa, and it was the Bucs coming away victorious there. Derek Carr, 2 touchdown passes in the W. This will be taken about the 12. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Here we go now.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. That one looks like he'll throw here. This is caught. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes. Carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Here's Parkey now, set to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
It's our field. Hey, it's our house. Here we go.
One final try now for Garoppolo. Complete to the right. This is Garcon. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory, and the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week, we'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points, allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the home team here, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And now it's off to the airport for a date with Customs and a long flight north to the U.S. Meanwhile, for the Niners, they'll drop down to 1-3, and they'll be back home next week for